Hey guys, today I'm going to show you this 1998 Nissan Frontier. It's a pretty nice truck, and I don't really like pickup trucks all that much, but it's a fascinating pickup truck because the thing I like about it, it's a tiny little pickup truck, and most people don't require large pickup trucks like Ford 150s as a household sort of pickup truck. I'm going to show you some of the benefits of this thing. It's not that much different from the size of the Nissan hardbody, which, by the way, I also have. I have a 1993 Nissan hardbody, and that's the same truck essentially, but the Nissan hardbody in the East Coast has some issues with rust. This one does not. This entire pickup truck is in phenomenal shape when it comes to the body, which is kind of rare around these parts. I also bought this from a lady owner, which is kind of rare because normally women don't like driving pickup trucks. The drive quality of this thing is pretty bad. It's a pickup truck, so it wobbles all over the place. Yeah, black pickup truck, 130,000 miles. It's a 5-speed transmission, regular cab. Being a regular cab makes it a little bit hard to live with because there's not a lot of space inside. And what I like about the extra cabs, at least, is that you can put power tools inside and you don't have to worry about people stealing it. But having a regular cab makes it almost a little bit unusable as a commuter car, because when you put stuff in there, it helps to have that rear space behind the driver's seat. And I find that I don't really put a lot of stuff in the bed of the truck. I'm mainly using it as like a trash truck when I take large things to the dump, but having the regular cab definitely hurts against it. Some people really like the look of the regular cab. There's hardly any blind spots on it because you just turn your head and you see exactly what's in your third quarter area. The Nissan hardbody has got a lot of hard edges, hence the name hardbody. But this Frontier, it's much softer all around, and I think it makes it a little bit nicer of a vehicle. From the back, it looks very similar to the hardbody. There's not much things that are different. You do have the Frontier emblem, and then this band of two-tone that runs across the tailgate. There's the plastic liner, and the first time I did a review of this thing, this was pretty clean and barely ever used, and I'm already like getting it stained full of cement and gravel. The bed is already starting to see some wear, but that's just the way I use pickup trucks. I use them for work, and I've been throwing trash in here, carrying stone, carrying pavers, any sort of household work. I am basically using this pickup truck for anything. Whenever I don't want to dirty up the Prius, this is a good truck to get in. You don't worry about cleaning the back. And also, if you're a hunter, you always have the bed of the truck to put your kill in there and prepare it in the back. Usually about here, over the rear wheels, in the DC area, you start to get a bunch of rust. But this one is in great shape. There's no sign of rust anywhere. But with only 130,000 miles, these pickup trucks don't have any issues. This truck is pretty simple. It doesn't have power locks. It doesn't have automatic windows. Doesn't have automatic mirrors. Everything is pretty manual on it. But that's the way I like some of these cars. The complexity of having like electric motors indoors, it tends to break over time, and I've had that happen. You do have two compartments in the door for documents, and it's nice to have a divider. I have two airbags, and in the 1993 hardbody that I have, you have no airbag. So 2 airbags in a pickup truck is pretty good of this age, but this is probably one of the unsafest vehicles. Pickup trucks are notoriously unsafe, especially these mini pickup trucks, so you don't want to get hit. But the build quality of this is superior to the hardbody, I believe. The door panels, the way the door shuts is so much better. But my Nissan hardbody does have 300,000 miles, and it's been through a fire. This thing is practically new. So inside the Frontier, it's a pretty easy way. There goes Sophie, that's my dog. So inside the Frontier, it's an interesting car to be in because This is a bench seat, and I never thought I'd like bench seats, but especially with my dog, she can just sit right next to me, and she likes to kind of sit on my lap. So having a bench seat really helps. And it is kind of cool. It's like a retro type of style, and you don't have this in a lot of cars, having bench seats, so it is kind of nice. It's a bench seat. You could sit 3 people, but it's so tight in here that I can only see 2 adults being in there, unless you have a kid or a little mini dog like Sophie here. It gets 26 miles to the gallon. Now for a pickup truck, that's incredibly good. I have had cars from the 90s that have gotten much worse gas mileage. My 1991 Honda Accord gets like 22 miles to the gallon. So this being a pickup truck and getting 26 miles to the gallon, and probably even better on the highway, is phenomenal, because you could get this pickup truck and use it for work. And a lot of people do use these for work. You could get a Toyota Tacoma and you pay a premium to get a Tacoma instead of a Frontier. But I believe if you get a Nissan Frontier prior to the year 2000, you get an incredible amount of quality. That's before Nissan merged with Renault. So the quality before the 2000s were really good. That's why people really love the Nissan hardbody. The quality on that truck, the durability is incredible. I believe that this one is just as reliable as the hardbody. Since it's a 98, it's still in that, and they were perfecting the hardbody, and this is essentially the hardbody. It's got a very light feel to the steering, which is extremely nice to have in a pickup truck, because oftentimes pickup trucks are heavy. This is a very light duty pickup truck, and it's got very simple dash. You have a fuel gauge, you have your speedometer, odometer, and your temperature gauge. And at the bottom you have some dummy lights. But it's a very simple car. On this side you have your illumination dash. You have a button here and here, but these are missing. This is the base version, so there's not a lot of stuff in it. You also have a very simple AC unit and heating unit up here. And you have a way of locking your airbag down here using the key. And this one is fitted with the aftermarket stereo. The original wasn't working well, so I put in a new one. But it's nice, it's got 2 airbags. I have this one turned off. You also have, of course, the glove box. And you have oversized visors. This is kind of falling off a little bit because of the glue has come undone. The best thing about this one, it's a 4-cylinder, so it gets really good gas mileage, and also it's got a 5-speed transmission. The 5-speed transmission is absolutely perfect. It doesn't miss, it shifts extremely well, very smooth. So in a way, this makes a much better deal than a Toyota pickup truck of this age, because you can get these for less than $2,000 if you really look around. Look at the amount of space that you have to put your hands and stuff. Now this doesn't really impress a lot of people, because a lot of people would just take it to a garage. But if you are inclined to work on your own vehicles, you're going to enjoy having a pickup truck that you can do the work yourself. And this one is particularly simple to work, and it's the same engine that the Nissan hardbody has. So you have your air filter here, very easy to access using the two nuts right here. You just undo this, pull it out, you got access to your air filter. You have your coils here, you have your dipstick over there. Everything is just so accessible. Your batteries here, fuses. So extremely accessible hood compartment, and I like having that because I can just work on this thing and not have any major issues while working. I would recommend getting a Frontier over the Tacoma, and I would definitely get a Frontier over a Nissan hardbody, mainly because the Nissan hardbody, the parts are extremely hard to get these days, and the parts for this are much cheaper than the hardbody. So one of the things that I did, I had a minor accident here where I crashed in the bumper and the hood, and all of these parts ended up being like a total of $400 with practically the front end of the plastic. Now, I'm not a big fan of pickup trucks, mainly because they don't get great gas mileage. But on this thing, 26 miles to the gallon is extremely good. And the driving quality, that's something that's I don't really admire. It's like just all over the place. I much prefer cars, even like a car from the 90 handles much better than this. But keep in mind that people are going to be using this truck as work, so they're not really interested in the performance aspect of driving a pickup truck. And for me, I much prefer the quality. That's why I really like the Prius. It gets great mileage, but this serves a great purpose. You could get one of these pickup trucks and just start your own like landscape business, and having a little truck like this is so much better than having like a Toyota Tundra that gets like 12 miles to the gallon. All right guys, that is the 1998 Nissan Frontier. I hope you enjoyed it. These are great little trucks and they make a great household mini truck, so you don't have to buy a full-size pickup truck. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.